Hi everyone. So I wanted to just record a little bit of information about the Hridaya Hatha yoga technique that I'll be sharing at Vallis Farm starting at the end of January. And I'll start with a short quote. Fuse the powers of the Sacred Heart with the energies of the body, and you can transform anything. So said Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. And in spirituality these days, we find that there are two teachings. There's the teaching that we are already awake, we are already in our true nature, we just need to awake to it, we need to realise that this is what's within us, what we are. And there's another point of view which says that we need to do an awful lot of practice in order to attain some realization or some awakening. In the Tibetan tradition, for example, there's thousands of hours worth of reciting mantra or circumambulating the stupa, walking around holy places, or prostrating to images of the Buddha. And in yoga we have this sense of tapas, of needing to commit to our practice. So we can say that perhaps this transformation that we're looking for, this recognition of our true nature, is an instantaneous thing, but the deconditioning that we need to go through in order to reach that place is a process. And we may have these moments of intuition through meditation or through other moments of realization, but we keep coming back to this ordinary way of being, to this unaware place. So the practice that we do, whether it be yoga, whether it be meditation or other practices, they are there to purify the mind and the physical body, to decondition these layers that have built up through generational issues, through past lives and karma, if you take the Eastern viewpoint. And we're looking to move towards the opposite of ignorance, to this wisdom, this understanding, and to this present moment awareness, so that we can have our eyes open and not be held back by these things that we've been caught up in. And it's not just the mind that purifies, but also the physical body. We hold a lot in the physical body, and so it's important that both are included. In some traditions, and Advaita Vedanta, which is the tradition that Hridaya sort of is based in, and Buddhism as well, they have a tendency sometimes to ignore the physical body, to see beyond it, to be in this more spiritual realm where they aren't really taking care of the body. But Tantra, which sort of the traditional Tantra, which emerged in the 3rd to the 6th century AD, also focuses on this purity of the physical body, so that the spirit can be reflected there as well. This idea of the body being a temple, and Hridaya embraces this spirit within the physical. In Shaivism, they have a concept of samarasa, this word that means even essence, translates to even essence, and it's kind of reflected as the idea of this body full of light, so this energetic body, this pure body. And in yoga tradition we have the concept of, and in Ayurveda we have these concepts of tamas, rajas and sattva, these gunas, these different parts of our makeup which reflect different energies. Tamas being this more lethargic energy, this slow and sometimes contracting energy. Rajas being this fire, this excitement, and the energy that sometimes leads to agitation or not being able to just be. And sattva is this purity, this pure energy. And these things are reflected in diet and various other aspects. But if we're looking at it from this point of view, we can see that when sattva becomes prominent in our essence, in our being, there's an alchemy that happens, and our body starts to more resemble this body full of light, this even essence, this samarasa. It's kind of like an equilibrium, a balance between the tamas and the rajas. And in the West, we often hear about these psychosomatic issues, diseases that people suffer with, illness coming from stress and tension, which builds up through our nervous systems being dysregulated and creating these vibrations in our being, which is not harmonious. And this healing starts with relaxation. So the healing in our body starts with this relaxation, starts with this nervous system regulation, whether it be co-regulation or self-regulation, and that can be really important through meditation. In the sense that the somatization, this word comes from the Greek soma, and the idea is that within Hridaya practice, within this Hridaya Hatha yoga that we're talking about, we somatize the spirit. So we bring this pure essence of the sattva and we bring it into the body. So this form of Hatha yoga that I'll be sharing was developed by Sahajananda, the leader of the Hridaya yoga school, and he developed it. I mean, it's a very traditional form of Hatha yoga, but it was fine-tuned by him after periods of solitary meditation, where he would do long retreats and would include a strong Hatha yoga practice with pranayama and various other energy practices. And he would find that he would reach these deep places of stillness in his meditation practice, and then rather than the yoga practice, the Hatha yoga practice, the physical practice, continuing that level of equilibrium and equanimity, he found that it was unbalancing, that he would find either his rajas would get exacerbated and he would find that he would be knocking himself out of this meditation attitude. So it's about this attitude of bringing the attention in each moment. So the idea is that this form of yoga, we keep our attention within throughout the practice. We keep in this meditative state, and we enhance the meditative state. So as we progress through the asana, we are finding ourselves more and more deeper and deeper into a state of meditation within the postures. And then at the end of the practice, once we've done our deep relaxation, we will be really prepared to drop into a sitting meditation. We'll be fully relaxed and the body will be completely prepared. And to achieve this, we have various different stages that we go through. And I'll just talk about them briefly now, but there's no need for you to know these stages when you come to a class. It's just, this is the kind of format that we'll go through, and I'll obviously lead through these stages. So the first stage is coming into the witness consciousness. So it's really about being in our yoga. So we're aware of the awareness. We are aware of ourselves and aware of all things around us. So coming into ourselves, into our body, breathing deeply, and just allowing ourselves to observe all that arises, witnessing without judging, without getting attached, whether it be thoughts, whether it be noises, whether it be sensations in the body, just allowing them to be there and following them through without creating stories about them, without getting lost in them. And then we'll introduce a posture or an asana, and the invitation will be to enter the asana in a state of harmony, a state of full awareness of the body and how the body is moving. So the movement is not a regimented movement. It's not following orders. These postures are, for the most part, quite simple postures, and there's nothing that needs to be done in a particular way. So our bodies are all different, and we will find that there are different ways that we find comfortable to do these positions. So it's about being aware of how that feels and allowing that movement to come slowly from inside, and enjoy the act of stretching, enjoying stretching the body like a cat or a dog enjoys stretching their body when they wake up in the morning, just really effortless enjoyment. And then there's a moment where we come into a stillness, an immobility. So we find this posture, we find a place where we can hold the posture comfortably. So we're not overstretching, because we will hold postures for a little while, and we want to be comfortable. We don't want to be straining. We want to find a set place of immobility, because in stillness of the body we find the mind mirrors this stillness, so we get this stillness in the mind as well. And this immobility has a Sanskrit phrase, kaya shtairium, which is associated. So it's not a contracted place, it's just a resting in a pose. And once we've found that position, once we're in the pose, we just allow ourselves to rest in the asana itself. So we keep an open attention, keeping aware of all that is arising, sensations, emotions, thoughts, all of it is there. We are witnessing it, and we're not judging it, and allowing ourselves to be completely free with what emerges. And I will mention what the traditional understanding of each posture is. So the activation of a chakra is normally associated with a posture, or maybe more than one chakra, and I will talk a little bit about that and just give you the traditional description. And it's really to check in, is that what's happening for me? I'll give you some ideas, but it might be a sense that, opening the chest, doing a back bend is heart opening, so we feel something in the heart, whereas a forward bend is connecting us to the ground, is more grounding, is an earthing posture, connecting with the earth element, the root chakra. So just giving you that information, and you can see if that fits. And then to expand from that, we acknowledge that the energy that we're feeling here has a universal quality to it. So it's not our energy. It's this idea of this energy passing through us, the infinite energy that moves through us. Love passing through the heart, or the earth giving us strength, holding us from beneath. Just acknowledging this connection, this unity with all around us. And finally, we drop into the question, who am I? Emphasizing the witness. The posture becomes a meditation. We are open to this universal energy around us, and the posture becomes a position of meditation. So in the Yoga Sutras, chapter 2, sutra 46 to 48, it said, as a description of yoga, immobile, firm and comfortable, realized when effort disappears and meditation is on the infinite. From now on, the yogi is not disturbed by dualities. So this is really the goal of the practice. We're coming into a state of meditation. We're dropping in beyond sense of duality into a deep relaxation. So I hope to see you at Vallis Farm at the end of January, Thursday mornings at 10 o'clock. The class will begin for an hour and 15 minutes, and bring a mat if you have one. There should be some there, and I look forward to practicing with you soon.